Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hey guys.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, no?
And I am Scribe, your host and Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone has had a good week and has a good weekend to look forward to. If it is your weekend, apologies if you work retail, but shit happens.
Scribe,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Oh.
Guys, it's the Scribe happy birthday stream.
Well, actually,
Actually.
there's a birthday we have to handle.
Oh, who's
Well, you see, what happened was last night, just as the show was starting, a chat message came across. Somebody asking about us singing him or her, I suppose. I don't know. Happy birthday today, because today is their birthday, but they weren't going to be here to listen to it. And I saw that message. For some reason, I didn't say anything then. I got distracted or whatever by doing the news. And then as I was sitting here, I remembered that. And so I just, as you guys were talking before the stream, I went back to last night's stream and I sat and watched the live chat for a minute at the beginning to try to figure out who it was. And I found it. So Zero the Hero 99. It's their birthday today.
Zero to Hero? It's your birthday, and we're about to sing to you.
Oh, dear God.
A 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Zeros can't be heroes.
Happy birthday to you.
I don't make the rules. That's just how it goes.
Happy birthday, dear Zero to Hero.
You're welcome to try, though.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Zero to Hero. I hope you had a good one. Somebody make sure he finds this, because he was here yesterday, won't be here today. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So
Okay.
The next time somebody sees Zero the Hero in the chat, be sure to poke them and let them know that on tonight's stream, at the beginning, birthday was sung.
Yeah, sorry we missed that. I didn't even see it, so I apologize. Because we would have definitely done it then.
And Mashu says, I have a birthday song request. Okay. Mash of all people should know, it's a reminder to people. Chat moves really fast sometimes. And if you give us an ambiguous statement or question, we have no idea what you're talking about. So just tell us, reiterate it. Just spoil it for us. Just tell us what it was that was said or we missed.
This is the Scribe birthday stream, and this is his birthday, so it's my time to shine.
Oh, shit.
Scribe, I love you, man. This one's for you. Happy birthday to you.
I love you too, Scribe.
Happy birthday to you.
No homo.
Happy birthday, dear Scribe.
Well, maybe just a little.
Happy birthday to you. Scribbles, we've been doing this for 2 years together, and I love you, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Monkey. I appreciate it. And thank you, Satsu, for making my BBC dreams come true.
No props, son.
And Mash says, I told you during the pre-stream chat. But
we don't often read that.
I'm not usually here for that, honestly. I set up the stream at like 5 o'clock my time. I go and do other things. You guys talk, and I'm glad you guys that show up earlier, like right after I post it. I'm always appreciative that you guys have built the community and there to greet everybody and say hello. But I'm not always paying attention to it, so
that might be my fault. I kind of spoiled them because I'm usually always in the pre-stream chat on my night.
Oh, he better than us.
Oh, okay.
He
well,
better than us.
I guess you don't need. Yeah, you don't need me to stroke yourself off. There you go.
To be fair, I wasn't in there tonight.
Yeah,
but I usually am.
Somebody give us a heads up what's going on here.
let us
Thank
know
you,
what it-
Attack Alpaca. Next TED Talk, why May birthdays are racist, misogynistic, and blah, 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 something or other. Happy birthday, Scribe. Well, thank you, Attack Alpaca. I think May birthdays are misogynistic, depending on which part of the month you're born in, because Gemini is two-faced.
Ooh.
Thank you, Snubberth. Celebrate with us, uni janitors, all these empty campuses.
I have
That's like
no
one
idea
of
what
the
that
best
means.
jobs ever.
Is that a callback to something?
I'm not sure, but being a janitor at a university is a fun job.
Yeah. Let's see. Devil Fruit Zero says, "Hey, Scribe is busy. He probably had to make a pepper jack." No, actually, I have Dr. Pepper tonight. I don't have any Jack Daniels. I'm out of that. So,
No birthday Jack.
well, I mean, despite the title, I'm not quite sure. I needed something that rhymed with lose, and I couldn't think of a better word. I don't know if there's actually going to be anything news-wise or otherwise that deals with alcohol tonight, but we could probably work it in there somehow. And thank you, Snubberth. School's out, you fools. Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, my parents, in their eternal wisdom, in their later years, both ended up working for a school district, and so they worked half the year and then sat around for the other half of the year, still getting paid.
Nice.
So smart on them. But with all that said, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. Sorry, did I fuck that up? Wow. After 2 years, and I fucked that up. Monkey Dick.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already, and share our stuff. Did I fuck it up? No, I didn't fuck it up, did I?
Well, you just forgot video games.
Well, I stopped before I got there because I thought I missed something. That is so bizarre. Now I'm having Alzheimer's now.
You hit 40.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, I hit 40 and my warranty expired. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. Happy birthday, Scribe, and thanks again for having me on Familiar with the Matter. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for sending me your idea for a show. That only happened because of you. And thank you, Ebony. Ebony Williams, this may not be as good as a big boobied redhead or a moon base, but please accept this humble offering. Happy birthday, dear Scribble. Well, thank you, Ebony. I appreciate it. It'll go towards building my moon base.
Mash answered us too.
Some way. Oh, did she? Okay. Where is the answer?
It's where was it?
Patrice Ripley's daughter, Cassidy. Okay. Well, there you go, monkey. You have Cassidy.
How old is Cassidy? I'm not. That's not to be perverted. I'm wondering how silly I can sing.
Wait. If it was a young child, you'd sing more or less silly?
A little more silly.
And so, what did you call what you just did to me?
You're different.
Oh,
You're
you
special.
have no idea. 21.
Okay. So Cassidy. Patrice, that's dad, right? I'm going by Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
But Patrice can be a late. Look, my name's Francis. I'm not judging here. Your parent, how about that? Has requested we sing, and this is how we do that. This one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
He meant poorly, by the way.
Happy birthday to you.
Really, really poorly.
Happy birthday, dear Cassidy.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Cassidy. I've been told that is ma'am. I apologize. Look, like I said, my name's Francis. It gets Pete. I apologize for fucking
ma'am.
It's ma'am. Yeah. Oops. Cassidy, I hope you had a wonderful birthday, and I hope that didn't fuck it all up.
Sorry for calling your mom a dude.
And everyone who's saying happy birthday to me, I can't name you all. I do see them going across the chat, but it's going by fast enough that it would take me extra time to go back. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Old Grouchy Gamer. Most highly intelligent people are born in May. Trust me, I know. Oh, because you were born in September?
That seems self-serving.
Well, when you don't have a waiter, what else can you do but buffet?
That's right. I don't know what that means, but I agree.
Hey, that is deeply philosophical about loneliness and singledom.
That just sounds sad.
I know. Okay, well, let's move on to the news. That'll cheer us up, right?
I hurt my throat. I got to stop doing that.
But do I want to know in what way or by what means you hurt your throat?
I did a little bit of the hell yeah, baby kind of singing. And
You did Louis Armstrong?
A little bit. Well, you weren't listening to me?
I see trees are green. Red roses too. All right. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Happy birthday, Scribbles. Welcome to the club. Oh, are you 40? Okay. Thank you, Ginger Power. Happy birthday, Scribbles. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, let's get on to sad news.
Oh, damn. Always sad news.
Yeah, I know. We got to start with the sad news to work our way up to less sad news. Grumpy Cat has passed away.
Aw.
So this is CNN's, I guess, tribute sort of article about it. There's a famous New Yorker cartoon that features a pooch facing a PC and quipping to his fellow canine that, quote, on the internet, no one knows that you're a dog. But the sad, doggone truth is that if you're a dog on the internet, no one cares because the geeks who rule the web are focused on felines. The digital landscape is saturated with cats. On his Diary of Numbers blog back in 2010, Aaron Santos, physics professor and author of How Many Licks? Tootsie Rolls, made the rough calculation that there are about 1.3 billion cat pictures on the internet. Since then, the internet has quintupled in data size, so that number could now be 6.5 billion. That would be nearly one cat pic for every person on Earth. Which helps explain why Purina, makers of Friskies cat food, estimates that a staggering 15% of all traffic on the web is cat-related. What does this have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you. The king of cat memes is undeniably the perpetually peeved puss named Tartar Sauce, a.k.a. Grumpy Cat, whose appearance, along with fellow internet superstars, Waffles and Nala of hashtag Cats of Instagram and Oscar the Blind Cat and his brother Klaus, don't know those ones, drew a 3-block long queue at Friskies House of Bacon pop-up cafe at the recent South by Southwest, the hipster-heavy annual gathering in Austin, Texas that blends the worlds of technology, film, and music. Thank you, Pincalo the Driving Ape Man. Happy birthday on this day in 526 AD. St. John I ended his reign as Pope, and in 1792, Russia invaded Poland. In 1802, Britain declared war on France, and finally, in 1804, Napoleon became Emperor of France. Emperor of France.
Wow.
A lot of shit happened.
Yeah, and in 1979, I was born! Anyway, this guy waxes very articulately about a bunch of different things. Anyway, Grumpy Cat, 7 years old, which is very young for most cats.
It really is. But he was kind of a fat cat, too, so.
Yeah, I mean, spoiled as hell, but he had a urinary tract infection, or sorry, she, I guess Grumpy Cat was actually a she, urinary tract infection that apparently got the better of her. And only 7 years old and now gone. But don't worry, as I said over on Ghost Poo, Grumpy Cat may be dead, but her copyright will live on forever.
Oh, shit.
There was some story about how some company that had licensed using the image in their products for a time overextended the time they were allowed to use it and ended up having to pay the family that owns the cat like $70,000 or something.
Damn.
So, yeah, or something like that. So anyway, yeah. Goodbye, Grumpy Cat. Don't know what else to say. I'm a cat person, so I can empathize. We'll have to see what is the next strange-looking animal that becomes the internet's favorite.
I need to get Manny an Instagram.
Or maybe it'll be monkey. Let's see. How about one? It wouldn't be a special day for me unless I checked in with our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Saliza. Yes, I can tell you're as excited as I am. So here's what Chris has to say, and refers back to the title of the stream. Now, what?
I coughed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You also have a super chat, FYI.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Circus Zero. Happy birthday from Sarah Plyer and I. May you have many more. Thank you, Circus Zero, and thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. As I lose my voice. And thank you, Snubberth. Pebbles, they go too soon. Ah, yes, Pebbles. Pebbles.
Too good for this sport.
So the wonderful Salizard tells us, now we know why Donald Trump was so focused, so being in capital letters, on Michael Flynn.
Do we?
I don't know. I guess maybe Chris does. At nearly every turn of the Russian interference into the 2016 election, President Donald Trump was working to make sure Michael Flynn, his former national security advisor, knew that the White House was on his side and that the president himself thought Flynn was a good guy. Now we seem to know why.
That's not what you just said.
Seem. Was seem in your headline? No. Trump was worried, and it turns out rightly, that Flynn knew things that would be problematic for the president as it related to Russia. As it related to Russia? You mean as he? Okay. And that if Flynn cooperated with special counsel Robert Mueller's probe, as he eventually did, it would have negative consequences for the administration. Court records released Thursday night revealed previously unknown details of Flynn's cooperation. Here's the key bit from the story. And thank you, Three-Sided Coin. Happy birthday, Scribe. May you have, I don't know, like 6 more or something. Well, that's almost as many as Grumpy Cat had total, so hey, I'll take it over the alternative of maybe 50 more. Thanks. Let's see. So, quote, the Flynn court records revealed Thursday showed that the fired first national security advisor, first of the Trump administration. Okay, I thought the first national security advisor, some guy back in the 1800s or something, helped Mueller's investigation on at least 3 prongs as the special counsel looked into interaction between the Trump transition team and Russia, WikiLeaks release of emails during the presidential campaign, and the president's efforts to interfere with the investigation. Flynn also assisted the Eastern District of Virginia and prosecutors from the Justice Department's National Security Division with a now open case against his former lobbying partner who allegedly worked illegally for Turkey, unquote. Right. So a guy who's going to end up going to prison for lying to Congress, who also worked with people who were working illegally for Turkey.
No, he's not going for lying. He's going for lying to the FBI.
Oh, FBI. I apologize. Not FBI. Trump responded Friday with a tweet, quote, it now seems that General Flynn was under investigation long before was common knowledge. It would have been impossible for me to know this, but if that was the case, and with me being one of 2 people who would become president, why was I not told so that I could make a change, unquote. Okay. While news of the voicemail is new, the voicemail? What? Did I miss something? Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I skipped a paragraph. Among the things Flynn and his lawyers provided the special counsel was a voicemail from a Trump associate to a Flynn lawyer asking for, quote, some kind of heads up, unquote, if Flynn was planning to cooperate with the government and what he might be telling them. That call came the same day that Flynn's lawyers broke off their cooperation agreement with the White House lawyers and just days before he took a plea deal from Mueller. Okay, while news of the voicemail is new, it very much fits a pattern of clear concern mixed with an attempt at care and feeding from Trump world toward Flynn. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Happy birthday, Scribe. Here's some interruptions money. Well, it worked. I interrupted myself. It takes talent, and it's also kind of masochistic. Oy. Okay, what do we... what do we care about this? We already knew that, though. I'd heard that piece of information at least weeks or months ago now.
Yeah, this isn't new, but it's being promoted as though it is. Say, oh my God, look what we found out. There's nothing there. That's just fact.
Okay, I'm going to skip down to the bottom. As Thursday's court document makes clear, Flynn was a key witness for Mueller on a variety of fronts. We already knew that. Trump knew that, at least on the collusion front, and so did things to keep Flynn from talking that ultimately provided evidence of potential obstruction of justice. And yet Mueller recommended no charges on the collusion front or the obstruction front, which makes you wonder, why was Trump so worried about Flynn cooperating?
But the only thing they said he did was be really nice to him. That's all that they said he did so far. Like, what else did he do?
He asked for the heads up. That's what they're. Tell us if you were going to tell the government something. That's the stuff that they're throwing their over right now.
But is that obstruction?
No. And Chris, okay. I don't. Maybe you missed it, Chris. Whether you like him or not, I don't think anybody can say otherwise that Trump and the people amongst his administration leak like a fucking sieve.
Yep.
So if anybody who was close to his inner circle was going to say stuff about stuff, honestly, I could not blame Trump for being paranoid about anybody, especially the higher ups and what they might or might not say about whatever. So if that is the big reveal or question mark you're putting on this, I don't know what to tell you, Chris. I mean, you've kind of been there for the whole thing so far. If there was something more to be had or be said about it after 2.5 whatever years it's been that this investigation was going on.
Holy moly.
Holy cats. Thank you, James Colley. Happy birthday. Investment money for your very own tens machine. Unless you prefer a violet wand. Yeah, the violet wand is a bit more, marketable, let's say, to partners than an actual tens machine. That can be a little intimidating, but yeah. Well, thank you, James, very much. Thank you so much. Anyway, Chris seems to just have selective memory or perspective on these things. And even then, he doesn't really do stories about things that have happened. He does stories about questions he has in his head, and he turns them into like 4 or 5 page long articles.
In fairness, it's not just Chris. The whole freaking internet was blowing up over this shit today. And it's like, there's nothing here we didn't know. Unless you were an idiot and not paying attention.
Right. If you had no idea that this had happened, if you hadn't been watching the news like we do 6 nights a week, maybe it would be new for you or somehow shocking. But the fact remains that unless or until something new comes out, and at this point, if Flynn had anything to hand over that would help to mitigate what's happening to him, he's already done it, or he's already dangled in front of the prosecutors, and they either said yes or no. Either way, he's in trouble. He's going to prison, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, he's probably not even going to prison because Flynn's the one who they were all ready to what's the word I'm looking for here? Sentence. They wanted the judge to go ahead and take care of it, and the judge's like, "Oh no, there might be more he has later." As far as Mueller was concerned, this was over.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what. Yeah, it's a little bit of stupid. Everybody freaking out about shit they already knew.
And also, Chris doesn't actually tell us what Trump was worried about. Just so you know, it comes down to this one sentence in here. Add it all up and you get this. Trump was very worried about what Flynn knew and what he would tell Mueller, so he took a series of actions to try to ensure Flynn didn't do it. Which means you still don't know what Trump was worried about, the same thing that we knew he was worried about weeks and months ago. Which is what he might say. Yeah, I just love the yeah. Thank you, Connor Johnson. From your perspective, when it comes to entertainment, what do you think crosses the line from imitation to ripoff? Well, the most recent example I can say that is like rides the line in some cases, but doesn't quite cross it and is more of a loving homage, is the first season of Stranger Things. So many story beats and elements and themes in that series are obviously inspired by, taken from, if not lifted respectfully from previous movies like E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Firestarter and all these other things. And so if you can take something that's similar in theme, but it is something new and original in and of itself, that is homage. That's more of imitations of the sincerest form of flattery. If you're Force Awakens and you're just basically recreating the exact same storyline with different characters with the exact same beats, and it's all very familiar for the sake of, hey, remember Star Wars? Then that's kind of a ripoff. I mean, it's a ripoff they can do because they're the same well, they're not the same company, but they bought the rights to it. But you know what I mean. It's, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's a hard line to just describe out examples, and
Right.
I can't think of a good example that's a blatant ripoff that could even be confused, because like we just had the thing with who is it, Elder Scrolls. That is in no way homage. That is just straight ripoff.
Oh, that's plagiarism. That's plagiarism. Yeah, no, outright plagiarism. I mean, yeah, sure, by terminology that's a ripoff, but like, God, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm trying to. The first thing that comes to mind is like the series of buddy cop movies after Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, okay.
Movies that try to bank on something that was successful just a year prior by doing something that's exceedingly similar, or those mockbusters that like the Asylum makes to ride the coattails of big movies coming out. Of course, they're doing it with tongue in cheek the whole time, so you can't really blame them because that's kind of their industry. But yeah, it is subjective. It's kind of a case by case basis. But yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, did you want my answer?
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were about to move on. Okay. The only thing I can think of that I can make a really good comparison is Monster Hunter and God Eater, because a lot of people compare those two and they're like, God Eater's just Monster Hunter or whatever, but the game is like fun. It has the same concept, it has the same feel, but it is fundamentally different in almost every way. It just reminds you a lot of Monster Hunter. So, like I said, it's a case by case thing. I guess it really depends. But yeah, I would consider that more of a kind of nod as opposed to just a rip-off.
Yeah,
it can also just be an inspiration, but hey, what if we did it this way instead?
Right.
That's not a rip-off. That's
like, I think of God of War clones, quote unquote. So like Dante's Inferno was a God of War clone, even though it was a completely different setting and a completely different, more or less, story and everything else. The mechanics and the overall feel of the game was very God of War. So
yeah. Heavenly Sword was like that too. People kept calling that the female God of War. Yeah, because it was basically God of War, but with the chick.
Right. Okay, moving on in the wonderful world of news. Another one that's not exactly happy, but I saw this because there wasn't, aside from the Flynn thing, as far as I know, there wasn't like a big like overriding news story today, so it's a little bit potpourri today. Except there was more information about the lady who killed the pregnant lady.
Oh.
And the only thing new about it is that she looks as ugly outside as her soul is inside. And that's about it. But anyway, this story, also not happy. Police officer resigns with a settlement after wrongly pulling gun on black man picking up trash.
The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't heard this one. The city of Boulder, Colorado has reached a settlement. Sorry?
Cleaning up while black?
If there's a hashtag, I wouldn't be surprised. The city of Boulder, Colorado has reached a settlement with one of its police officers over racial profiling accusations. The incident began on March 1st when Boulder police officer John Smiley, I think it is, approached Zayed Atkinson as he cleaned up trash outside his townhouse complex. As my phone beeps at me, and now I get to find out, do I get to stay for my own night of streaming? The survey says yes. Okay. Atkinson was sitting in a partially enclosed patio that had a private property sign in front of it at the complex where he lived. Smiley claimed he was trying to determine if he had the right to be there. Okay. According to the city, Atkinson told him he worked and lived in the building and gave him his student ID, but Smiley detained him for further investigation. Quote, "He's picking up trash," a person who filmed the incident repeatedly said as the two exchanged words. Then he made a request for backup, saying that the person was, quote, "uncooperative and unwilling to put down a blunt object." That blunt object was a trash grabber. An internal affairs investigation report says Atkinson then walked away. Smiley drew his taser, then his handgun, and pointed it in a downward direction, but not at Atkinson. The bystander video was posted online and drew immediate backlash, with many pointing to it as the latest example of racial profiling by police. Days later, the police department launched an internal investigation into the incident. And thank you again, James Colley. But God of War and many others, some named, took its mechanics from Devil May Cry.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's also true. I think with between God of War and Dante's Inferno, it really was the weapons mechanics. Like Kratos had his swinging blades and everything, and Dante had his giant scythe, and it was very, sort of visually similar. And also dealing with the mythology. The setting was, Christian mythology for Dante's Inferno and Greek mythology for Kratos. So that those elements kind of made those two a bit more similar, I think, than just in the mechanics phase of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so the officer resigns. The investigation released on Thursday and available here, there's a link, found no evidence of racial profiling, but did say Smiley flouted two police department policies. He violated police authority and public trust, and he violated the department's code of conduct. But he came to an agreement with the city of Boulder before he was disciplined. Smiley is resigning, but will exhaust his paid leave. That means the city will pay him roughly $69,000 between now and February 9th, 2020, his official final day on the job. Okay, well, if it's paid time that he earned to that point, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that outcome. It is what it is.
Yeah. It's not like he sued the city for them firing him and he got $1 billion or something. So
yeah, as long as he ain't on the fucking street anymore. I'm so tired of these bitch ass cops. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about scaredy cat ass cops acting like little bitches all the time in the news. It's pissed me off.
Yeah, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I've gotten slightly addicted to over the last couple months. There's one called Police Activity, all one word, and there's another one called Video Leak Police. And these guys have like the body camera footage of stuff that happened 3 days ago, sometimes if they release it, or just historical things. And from good actions on the behalf of police officers to bad actions on the part of police officers. It's really interesting watching just how some of those situations can go, for ill or good, depending. And but this one in particular, I haven't seen the video yet, but if it goes as described, come on.
The way they described it, am I understanding right? He pulled his gun on this guy?
Yeah.
He didn't point it at him.
He unholstered his gun at a guy who was holding a trash grabber in a place where he had an ID. He wasn't doing anything. He said he lived there. Jesus Christ. Uncooperative. Well, like I say, I don't know what he was doing or otherwise. If the guy said, put down the trash grabber, it'd be pretty ridiculous. But, technically, if a police officer gives you a lawful order,
I get
lawful.
That, this is one of those. I think I would have ended up shot here.
Yeah,
because I have a problem with authority to begin with, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, lawful is not always like reasonable necessarily.
No, that's why you go to court and you sue the little shit.
Right. Yeah. That's why you say, okay, you're going to argue that. Don't argue that point on the street or the roadside.
Don't get shot.
Argue that in court after. Yeah. Don't try to win the argument with the police officer. Win the argument in court. You know, as much of a hassle as it might be. Because if there's one thing I've learned from watching those police action videos and everything else, it's that do not try to litigate on the roadside.
Right. No.
Don't do it.
You laugh, but that ain't wrong.
No, it's sort of sardonic laughter.
No, I got it.
Yeah. No, it's Anyway, moving on to the last story I've got. I thought I'd bring this up just for monkey's sake, and I know we're over time a little bit, guys. We'll go a bit longer on MSS News. Speaking of settlements, Stormy Daniels reaches a settlement with Michael Cohen and her former attorney. Now, it's odd to me that CNN doesn't put the name of her former attorney in the headline.
Right. What's up with that?
I don't know. Maybe they still feel a little guilty about having promoted the guy. Stormy Daniels has reached a settlement with Michael Cohen and Keith Davidson. Oh, she had a different former attorney. Oh, my mistake. Yes. My mistake. I apologize. That was honestly my mistake. I didn't know that. And Keith Davidson, her former attorney, in her lawsuit that accused both men of working together to protect President Donald Trump. Daniels, an adult film actress whose given name is Stephanie Clifford, sued Cohen, Trump's former personal attorney, and Davidson last June, accusing them of brokering a deal in which she was paid $130,000 to prevent her from publicly speaking about her alleged sexual relationship with Trump. Trump has denied there was a sexual encounter, but his attorneys admit to approving the $130,000 payment to Daniels to ensure her silence. In the lawsuit, Daniels alleged that the two men colluded and acted in concert to manipulate her and to benefit Trump. When the men became aware of an impending In Touch magazine article, okay, I forgot that there was a magazine called In Touch, as probably have most people, that would detail Daniels' descriptions of her alleged affair with Trump, Cohen, quote, hatched a plan to have Miss Clifford appear on Mr. Sean Hannity's program to falsely deny the accuracy of the In Touch article, the lawsuit said. To have her appear on Sean Hannity's program to falsely deny the accuracy.
To have her on to lie and say it never happened.
Yeah, but that was her choice.
She's saying she was kind of forced into doing it.
Okay. According to federal court documents, Daniels and Davidson have reached and executed a settlement. The settlement between Daniels and Cohen has been agreed to in principle and is being finalized. Details of the settlements have not been disclosed. Okay. Well, I don't know how much money you're going to get out of Cohen, given the fact that he's probably leveraged up against legal bills for his stuff while he's off in prison. But
she ain't getting money off either of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that's all the news I had. Did you guys have anything?
No. One, I wasn't on the internet much, and you've covered pretty much everything I saw today.
Same here.
All right. Well, then, guys, we'll move on to MSS News. If you have news stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all. I'll try to get through as many as I can. Well, my voice holds up because, holy cow, something's up. But either way, this one comes from Frosted Glass, and it's the Mary Sue. Okay.
All right.
In Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Okay, this has spoilers. Are we past Endgame spoiler?
I would say so.
Okay. All right.
A month, aren't we?
Yeah, at least. Thank you, King. Hold on. Thank you, Kingslayer Damocles. Have you heard about where dude got arrested for having an "I eat booty" sticker on his car? Yes, we talked about that, and those charges were actually dropped.
Yes.
Thankfully. So yeah. Sorry, Satsu, about the spoilers.
Well, I was just about to say, we'll give everybody like a minute buffer just to like, hey guys, this is about to happen.
Sure. Yeah. If you haven't seen Endgame yet, pause now or come back in 10 minutes or something. I don't know. Well, maybe not 10 minutes, but anyway, the headline is, in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Marvel kills its token women.
What?
Hey, Mary Sue, did you see that scene near the end of Endgame when, like, 17 female characters all kind of bunched up to do not much, but they bunched up, all on screen at once.
Yeah, and how literally one of those females were literally integral in making sure that the tides completely turned in the fight. But whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. When the Avengers came out in 2012, it was Marvel's first team-up film. I suppose. Well, I mean, there's crossovers prior to that. Okay, I'll give you that. Sort of. Kind of. No, wait. Black Widow was in Iron Man 2 a little bit, and so was War Machine a little bit. Anyway, and the only female member of this new team of superheroes was Natasha Romanoff / Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. Marvel's second ensemble film came in 2014 with Guardians of the Galaxy. And once again, the team had a single token woman, Zoe Saldana as Gamora. It was upsetting to have so few female characters be allowed into the Marvel's Boys Club. But Black Widow and Gamora were at least the best of characters. They were badass, brilliant characters, and having them around meant everything while we all waited around for Marvel to get its act together and add more women to its casts. Even though every single Marvel film has had a woman in there who has been a badass in one way, shape, or form, like Peggy Carter, like Pepper Potts. Anyway, so what does it say that Marvel killed off both of these women in the past two Avengers movies? It was an important story note for the characters. I mean, for Thanos specifically, that was a big character moment.
It was.
Not only for him, but also for the stupidity of Star-Lord just a little while later when he got pissed off about it and kind of made Endgame have to happen. But that's beside the point. That was one of the most heart-wrenching and honestly shocking moments of the entire fucking movie, I think.
Oh, you're not wrong.
And then, and Black Widow in Avengers Endgame, I didn't know who was going to die in that moment. I thought, I had a notion, but I thought maybe it'll be Clint, and because I had this image in my head of like he dies, and she has to be the one to go and go back to his family after they come back, and take care of his family. I mean, I saw that scenario in my head as that whole thing was going on because I could see it go either way. So anyway. And also the fact of all the horrible things he'd done in the meantime. That was the other part, too, that I thought it made sense for him to make that sacrifice, is what he was doing. But anyway, so they killed off Black Widow in the second movie. The fact of the matter is that we couldn't afford to lose Black Widow and Gamora, but it's made so much worse by the way that they died. Sacrifice is an awful and common trope with female characters.
Look, what Black Widow did was fucking amazing, man. You just, Jesus.
Okay, first, Thanos sacrificed Gamora. She didn't go willingly. Okay,
right.
And then Black Widow sacrificed herself. They're two completely different scenarios that have the outcome of somebody dying. But you want to talk about female characters as sacrificing themselves as a trope? Yeah, because male characters never do that or something.
Look, I thought that was badass what Black Widow did. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, look, you have a family to need to go to.
See, this is the shit that makes me mad about just reading these articles in general, because you're like, this person isn't a comic book fan. They don't give a fuck about the story, the characters, or anything involved. They're just trying to cash in and talk about some shit that they have no idea about to piss the right people off. And because I know that's what it's for, most of the time I don't even want to fucking read this shit. Like I don't even want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, the other part of the Black Widow thing that, I mean, you would have had to have paid attention to the previous movies. In the first Avengers movie, when we first basically meet those two characters after Hawkeye gets his mind whammy taken off, she talks to him about how he saved her from whatever was going on in her past, and that she had, quote unquote, read in her ledger. She'd done some horrible things, and now she's trying to redeem herself. So that if you think back to that interaction and then you put it into Endgame, it's the same dynamic. Like, now he's done some really horrible shit in the absence of his family, but she knows that he's got a family and she's also got stuff that she has to atone for in her own mind. It makes so much more sense that way, and makes that whole sacrifice so much more meaningful across several films, because every time Black Widow showed up, she always, hinted at things, or we saw flashbacks to things that made her life fucked up. So in the wholeness of the series, it's a much more powerful moment than just taken by itself as some kind of like trope.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but if you're looking at it from the perspective of a person who literally gives no fucks about the significance, they're just like, oh, another woman dying on screen must be because they hate women.
Anyway, this one comes from Massive Dynamics regarding a story I've never heard of before, I don't think. But anyway, shooting. Oh, it's a British story, that's why. Artist spared jail for drawing penises on beer mats and leaving them in pubs. Wait, this is where it gets weird. A 50-year mystery has been solved after a pensioner appeared in court for leaving cartoons of penises and vulvas on beer mats in pubs across the West Midlands. John Arthur Wheeler, 75, was dubbed the Black Country Banksy for his explicit sketches that were always signed with the initials AJW. He also had a thing for leaving pictures of the late opera singer Mario Lanza, and the pictures have become increasingly X-rated. One suggested that he had an 8-inch prick. But he has now been hauled before the courts for outraging public decency as a result of the sketches and lewd calling cards that he left behind in community centers, public toilets, and libraries. When his home was raided, police found hundreds more graphic pictures. Prosecutor Sophie Murray said, quote, he subsequently referred to himself as a pervert.
Wait. They raided his home because he left dick pics?
Well, these are the same guys that, prosecuted Count Dankula, for God's sakes. Thank you, Snubbers. These basics B's are spoiled on happy endings for women. I don't know about you, but I like breaks from tradition. Sometimes the bad guy should win, and sometimes mad bitches need to be mad and burn innocent people at King's Landing. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but I'll take your word for it. But thank you, Snubbert, so much. Mario Lanza. Oh, Mario Lanza. If you guys haven't seen Heavenly Creatures, which is a great movie, oh, Mario Lanza. I actually bought a CD of Mario Lanza based purely on the bits and pieces they talked about him in that movie, because he was a really good singer. Let's see. Wheeler from Kingswinford, West Midlands, said he had been inspired by the works of Pablo Picasso. He was spared jail on Friday, but was told that he must not leave his house with any pictorial representations depicting naked men or women, buttocks, genitalia, or female breasts, unless they are to be exhibited in a public art exhibition. Okay, Britain, you're fucked up right now, more so than anything, between facial recognition, prosecuting pug dogs, and this guy. Holy shit. Get a life, would you?
Yeah, that's weird. Y'all are overly sensitive.
Good God.
Britain's as sensitive as a clit.
Or to be more exact, little bitches.
Yes.
Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Family finds pool crashing. And I can't read this because I have to pay. Oh, can I move on without it? Why? I hate those fucking things. It's like I'm in the middle of reading. It's like, oh, by the way, you didn't know. Go away. Try that again. Family finds pool crashing neighbors were actually baboons. A South African family who suspected that rude neighbors were trespassing in their backyard pool set up a security camera that identifies the culprits as local baboons. The Marloth Park Elanzini, that's a town in a city or something, homeowner said he and his wife started noticing that when they would come home from work, it appeared someone had been using their pool. Quote, we installed the camera because every time we came back from work, one could see that someone was swimming, the man said. Because our property is not fenced off, we at first thought it was our neighbors using it without permission. The man said he and his wife were surprised when the CCTV footage identified the true culprits, a group of baboons. Quote, baboons can be troublesome to humans, but we live peacefully with our animal neighbors, and they are always welcome. We are blessed, he said. Well, that's a positive attitude, I suppose.
It's got to make your pool nasty.
Yeah, they go baboon poopy. Let's see.
Your neighbors that you mistook them for fucking baboons. Whoa.
This one comes from Froggy.
Ribbit.
And Froggy just sent the link to the front page of the Chicago Sun-Times. So I'm not sure what story that's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, Froggy, that's happened when you've sent me stories before. I don't know why it's happening.
Yeah, that's odd. So I don't know what story you wanted me to pay attention to, Froggy. I'm sorry. If somebody pay attention to chat for a minute. Froggy's here. Put a note in there about what story we're supposed to pay attention to, and I'll try to find it. This one comes from Princess Unicorn Nipples. Tampa woman arrested for threatening to, quote, shoot everyone, unquote, at the nearest elementary school.
Jesus.
Yeah, that'll get you arrested. This day and age and elsewise. And the picture of this lady, she looks like she's trying to be a comic book supervillain. I'll put the link in the chat for those of you that want to see. A Tampa woman was arrested after deputies said she threatened to shoot everyone at the nearest elementary school. Juliana Joy Coate, 26, posted on Facebook on Thursday with a picture of a small fake firearm threatening to shoot everyone at the nearest elementary school. Her home address was closest to Egypt Lake Elementary School. Deputies interviewed Coate, and she admitted to creating the post. She was charged with written threats to commit a mass shooting or terrorism and is currently at Falkenberg Road Jail. There's no notice here about what she might face as far as punishment, but I'm assuming it's not going to be friendly, given that it's Florida and you're threatening a school shooting. Just saying, they've had a little experience recently that makes it a little bit sensitive about that kind of thing. So it's good move there. Moving on. This one comes from Pincalo, the Driving Ape Man. If it'll come up. Doctors in Belgium. No, go away. I don't want to pay for the thing. Doctors in Belgium recommend jail time for parents who raise kids on a vegan diet.
Oh, my God.
Well, Belgium might be ahead of the curve. The legal opinion calls vegan diets unethical for taking away proteins and amino acids that can help children avoid preventable illnesses. Doctors in Belgium have called for parents who raise their children as vegans to face possible prosecution after a number of deaths in schools, nurseries, and hospitals. The Royal Academy of Medicine of Belgium published a legal opinion Thursday that could influence future court judgments. The opinion said it was unethical to say, yeah, right. I talked about that. The diet could only be made safe for children if complemented with medical supervision, regular blood tests, and vitamin supplements, which most parents were not qualified to provide. Quote, we must explain to the parents before compelling them, but we can no longer tolerate this endangerment, said Professor Georges Casimir, who led the commission that wrote the report. Well, true. I remember this episode of House where it was one of those things where he's doing his, just dealing with the regular patients, one of those little bits. Mm-hmm. And he goes in and a couple of parents there holding their baby, and they're like, "Oh, our baby is so tired and not acting right and everything else." And it's like, well, your baby's malnourished. I'm like, oh, but we're being vegan and soy and all this other stuff. He's like, no, growing babies need fat and sugars and meat and vegetables and all these other things. Otherwise, DHS will come and get you for negligence.
Well, we've read stories about people who do this shit to their infants and they
Yes.
build them.
Yep. And it's so healthy. No. You need to give your kid all the stuffs. Their bodies need the energy and all the nutrients to grow, especially children. Once you get to be like 18 or something, yeah, you can choose to starve yourself and have your body eat itself alive if you want. But
so do you guys think in this specific scenario, when it's if it is determined that it is a definitive like risk against their health, that the government should be involved, or do you think this could be something that could be pushed to the next level?
I think starving your children is absolutely where government should get involved.
Yeah, starving them, but if they're feeding them, just not properly.
that's effectively the same thing. If you're starving them of the nutrients they need, if you're malnourishing them, that's starving them. I mean, you may be putting food in their mouths, but they're not healthy as a result.
Well, what about people who overfeed their kids, like who got like fucking 300-pound 4-year-olds or whatever?
I've heard of cases of DHS or things like that, or children's services, whatever you want to call it, depending on the state, getting involved in those situations too. It doesn't happen as often, but it can if somebody makes a report. We'll do one more here. Sorry, guys. Went too long on the whole Black Widow Gamora thing, but this one comes from Griffin, and we'll end on a romantic note.
Yay.
Austrians told to stop French kissing cows after bizarre challenge sweeps social media.
Of course.
Yeah, go suck some cow tongue. Snogging cows with or without tongues is all the rage in Austria, endangering the animals and those smooching them, warn officials. The disturbing trend has been promoted by Swiss app Castel, which launched its bizarre cow kiss challenge to raise money for charity. And the premiere picture has basically the whole of this cow's tongue going in this woman's mouth. I'm going to put the link in the chat if you guys want to see this. It may be disturbing to some viewers.
I can say with certainty that is not something I want to see.
But the practice has been slammed every time, with politicians and farming officials saying that it's creating a nuisance and could lead to people getting trampled to death by upset cows, particularly those with calves. Castel has been encouraging people in Switzerland, Germany, and Austria to kiss cows for a good cause since launching its cow kiss challenge on Wednesday, with or without tongues.
Why is it with or without? Just without. I mean, if you want to run up and try to kiss a cow, okay, fine. It's weird, but I'm not your daddy.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how this raises money, but maybe they said for every picture they'll donate X number of whatevers to something. I don't know.
So is this the next level of like people letting dogs lick inside their mouths and shit?
It's right up there with like the Tide Pod challenge and all that stuff. Do something stupid just to do stupid. Anyway, guys, thank you for all the stories. We might fall back on that in a few minutes if we run out of other things to talk about. But it's YouTube time. I'll go first because I didn't end up doing much. I just watched more of that panel discussion from diversity and inclusion executives. Do you know how long into that 40-minute video you have to watch before somebody finally says something surface level, substantive, right there, about what they actually do in their job?
No.
22 minutes.
Jesus.
I am not kidding. You got 4 professionals, 4 executives from 4 completely different companies, and they're there, according to the title of the thing, explicitly to talk about what it means to do diversity recruitment. And everything for the first 22 minutes is corporate speak, self-congratulating gobbledygook. And I was scripting the whole time waiting for that big reveal. And when I got to that point, I was like, I've got a script for a 20-minute video where they say nothing, and I just comment on how they're not saying anything. Like, that's not a video that I'd want to watch. So I might have to just like cut that out and just say, hey guys, there's a 20-minute video that if you really want to watch a whole bunch of nonsense, now let's get into the meat of it. But without the context of how much they dodged the question to begin with, it makes the whole impact when they finally kind of have to eke their way into talking about details less impactful. So I'm not quite sure. I got to figure that one out if I'm going to still do it. So anyway, that's what I worked on. Satsu, what have you been up to?
I didn't work on anything today because I ended up getting a little sick last night or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
So
How you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better because I slept majority of the day, and whenever I wasn't sleeping, I pop up every now and then and watch a little bit of a Assassination Classroom, which a lot of people have been telling me to watch. This show is not what I expected it was going to be. It is quite different than what I was anticipating, because I kind of had a general idea of like what I was getting ready to get into, but it wasn't even close. Like, I was way off. That being said, it's very entertaining. So thank you for whoever suggested it. I'm about 12 episodes in, and I'm liking it. So nothing to report on the YouTube front. I'll be getting back to work tomorrow now that I'm feeling better. But yeah. Also, we have a stream tonight over on 2 Cents Plus. We'll be playing 7 Days to Die, which I am excited about because we were just getting into the swing of things in our new place. So I'll be kind of pumped to get back into that. But yeah, I have some updates for video stuff for you guys tomorrow.
All right. Monkey, what were you up to today?
I didn't get anything done because I woke up so late. If I would have tried to do something, I'd still be working on it right now. I was gonna make a video about Jim Acosta because that thing is just funny to me. But I need something else to go with it because I don't want to make a 2-minute video. I'm fine with making a video that's less than 10 minutes, but I don't want to make a 2-minute video. That's a goddamn Twitter video.
Well, why couldn't you do a double feature of Jim Acosta and Chris Cillizza?
You know, I might do that just as a. I could even throw in some Don Lemon. I mean,
yeah, let's take a look at the stars of CNN.
Yeah, so you know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. But that's what I'm planning on doing. That's my next planned video. I just and I already did start it. I started it yesterday. I just got interrupted, and then today I did. No time at all. I woke up at 5:30. Immediately had to order dinner because it was just me and my son's fiance. She's got the baby, and I'm crippled, so we ordered pizza tonight. Then we had dinner. I sat with the baby while she ate, and then came down here to try to find stuff to talk about when it comes time for fucketry, but we'll see.
Oh, I forgot. I was also briefly, because work was calling at the time, on the Ghost Poo podcast this afternoon for the first 20 minutes, half hour. Sinatra sent me a unexpected but welcome link, and so I popped on for a few minutes and joked around with them. That was fun. So as far as fucketry, I've got a couple of small things. Speaking of Chris Cillizza, he tweeted this out today. Now I'm going to read it verbatim, as I always do. For people who say the FISA court is biased against Trump/conservatives, Chief Justice John Roberts appoints all the judges on that court. So, ... And I said, non sequitur equals reasoned counterpoint. The kind of insightful commentary you are bound to find from Chris Cillizza and CNN.
Ding, ding, ding. You were just saying, use some Chris Cillizza too. Yeah.
I read that. I read it like once, twice, 3 times, and I thought, that means absolutely nothing, Chris. I mean, I don't know if the FISA court is or is not biased against Trump conservatives, but just because John Roberts appoints all the judges to that court doesn't invalidate someone's suspicion all by itself. It means nothing. Are you saying that Justice John Roberts is as conservative as Donald Trump? Have you seen what Justice Roberts has been voting in the affirmative of lately, Chris? I mean, if you're just going on political sort of metric, Anyway, I was just baffled by that. I mean, the last 2 days I've seen Chris Eliza post some amazing tweets, like "We need journalism badly," coming
We have
from him.
badly journalism.
Yeah, we have badly journalism, and then this, it just boggled my mind. What was the other one? There was something else. Where is it? Oh yeah, I was reminded today. Today is the anniversary, unfortunately, or the 60. It would have been the 64th birthday of Bill Paxton, one of my favorite actors growing up in all the movies and Aliens and Apollo 13 and Frailty. If you haven't seen Frailty, it's not a very well-known movie, but it's got Matthew McConaughey in it and Bill Paxton and a couple other guys, and Powers Booth is in there. If you can find a copy of Frailty, I won't tell you what it's about. It's better that you watch it for yourself. Great flick, underrated. I think it might have been one that Paxton either directed or wrote himself. I forget. Either way, what was the other one? Oh yeah, so this was my poor taste joke of the day. There was a story from the Associated Press. Authorities are trying to determine why a man set himself on fire outside a Walmart store in Alabama. And I said, were they having a fire sale?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, too soon. So that's fucketry from me today. But anyway, what do you got, Satsu?
Let's see what I logged into today. I know there was something as soon as I had woke up, like in the middle of my binging and falling asleep. Something I saw that I was just like, nope. And I went back to sleep. But I'm trying to remember what it was or if I commented on it. What the fuck was it? I think it had something to do with because didn't all they read the entire report or whatever. Yes. Or something.
Oh, I think I don't know if I know what you're talking about, but there was was it Jeff jumped in there. They did it so because I made a joke about like, yeah, that's productive. Jeff jumped in. Well, it gets the entire report in there, the unredacted report. No, it doesn't. The report they read was the redacted one. And several people mentioned that. They read it. Even some people who follow the show, they read it to get the unredacted version into the record. One, the report is already in the record. It was put into the record by Congress. They did it the other day. If you watch the Mueller hearing, I'd like to have this on the record. That's what they mean. The whole thing is put into the congressional record. You can read it if you want to. They did this to showboat. That was it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait, is it? Because I saw him say that, like, it gets the unredacted version. I'm like, are they reading a full unredacted version? Because
that's the audiobook version.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's so weird because I didn't think that was the case. So I'm like, wait, why would you think that that's what they were doing?
Because they don't pay attention. I don't have an answer, but
well, the statement he made was, "I like my government transparent, so I might be different." And I'm just like, but they're not reading an unredacted version.
I like my government transparent too, but that's not what this was.
Whatever. It's another one of those things that makes me look at certain people, and I'm just like, I can't take them seriously in any context anymore. Like, no, under any circumstance, I just can't because it's just hard to.
I did say something in response to that apparently I got wrong. I was under the impression that grand jury testimony can't be revealed by anybody without getting in trouble for violating federal law. Mm-hmm. I guess the way it's written, attorneys themselves are not allowed to reveal that information. So if someone in the Senate or whatever did get their hands on an unredacted copy, I guess, and feel free to double check me, guys, as I was told otherwise, that just revealing that stuff, if you get it, legitimately or otherwise, isn't in and of itself a crime unless you are an attorney or a federal attorney or something.
If you get your hands on it, it's like anything else.
But a politician in Congress wouldn't necessarily be violating the law if they did read or reveal it publicly.
If they read something that was given to the, well, it depends. That would be really.
Yeah, like I say, my understanding, I am no lawyer. I maybe misunderstood what I'd been told in the press or otherwise, but so if Congress did have an unredacted copy, they wouldn't necessarily be in trouble if they read it aloud to the public. The people who revealed it to them without first going through it would be in trouble, but not necessarily. It'd be sort of like a newspaper getting information from a anonymous source kind of thing, sort of.
Kind of, but they would have a hard time explaining how they got their hands on that.
Sure.
Yeah, that. I mean, I guess technically that would be true, but yeah, you have to explain how you got that, and I don't think any of them want to do that.
Anyway,
again, that's one of those. Technically, it might be true.
Anything else, Satsu?
No, that was it. Like I said, I saw that, and I'm just like, engage, and then a little video game menu popped up. It was like, yes or no, and I just X'd it out. Like, no, night, going back to sleep.
Well, Monkey, did you happen to find anything to talk about?
Well, first, I want to talk about our audience.
Oh no!
When I went on Monkey in the Morning last night, I don't know if you guys noticed yesterday during our stream, I was quieter than usual. I wasn't in pain. And I mentioned at the beginning, I was just kind of blah.
Mm-hmm.
I was having just a day where I was just like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see anybody. I hate life. And I talked about it a little bit. And I said on the show that I imagine that's as close as I'll ever get to depression, to what depression feels like from the way I've just heard it described.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it. I don't know how people who feel that way all the time live.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. And I get that way like maybe once every few months, especially with this shit going on. But I mentioned this at the beginning, and our audience, like, they did everything they could to try to cheer me up. Like, I'm here to entertain you guys, and you guys are trying to cheer me up. You guys are fucking awesome. I love our audience, and I cannot say that enough. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, whatever you're feeling, just extend that out over like weeks or months, and that's where I was for several, off and on for several years of my life. So yeah.
I'm about to say that's the first 18 years of my life.
I woke up today. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gone. I feel so much better.
Yeah, well, that was after I started getting myself a little bit of medication to try to mitigate some of that. But
yeah, I don't feel it very, and I absolutely, because I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Even when you guys see me arguing and shit, and it sounds like I'm having fun. My wife actually gets mad at me because I don't care about shit all the time. It's like, why don't you care more? Like, because I don't fucking care. I'm just a happy, and I hate it. And it's just so nice of everybody to try to cheer me up when that's my job, for fuck's sake. I'm here to cheer you guys up. But let's see. Let's see. No, don't care about that. Don't care about that. I don't know. I did get into a little bit of a kind of little tiny argument. And this was yesterday, actually. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted out what many people did. This isn't based on her. She's just the one I saw it on. If male politicians could get pregnant, there would be as many Planned Parenthood clinics as there are post office. All right. And I just tweeted back that, if men could get pregnant, we'd be more responsible with our bodies, which upset a couple of people. Like, you're stupid. Like, all right, look, one, it's true. It just is. But if you think that the only reason people want to limit abortion is because it only happens to women, tell me why we spend so much goddamn money on breast cancer and none on prostate cancer. Breast cancer can affect both of us. You know what one only affects men? Prostate cancer. You ladies don't have one of those. If men got pregnant, we'd be women. Right. I'm tired of this whole narrative that it's all about they're trying to hurt the women's. And somebody even pointed out that finally, like, look, yeah, there was 25 men who voted on this, but Alabama has a majority population of women who voted these men in to do this, and it was signed by a goddamn woman. It hurts my brain. We need to stop with this shit. We need to stop with the men versus women crap because it doesn't help anybody.
Oh, you should go check out what is it? Now This. They put up a video today with some Miss America pageant person talking about how women aren't part of the conversation regarding abortion.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm not even kidding. And the first thing, and I actually made a boo-boo. I commented on the video and I said, the governor of, I said Georgia. I meant to say Alabama, obviously, but I fucked it up and I corrected it later. But anyway, the governor that just signed that one in the bill, she's a woman. And there are lots of women involved in politics who are anti-abortion. So are you just like forgetting or ignoring those women?
Yeah, they just pretend they're not real. It's like I said, it is super fascinating way to be able to live life where you're just like, everything I don't like, all I have to do is just pretend it doesn't exist.
Well,
and then I'm always correct. I'm never wrong. I don't have anything that ever challenged me because it's just not real.
A great example of that is during the whole women's march when Trump got elected, there was a group of women who were pro-life. They were barred from joining.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't come hang out with us. Women's rights. You can't come hang out with us because you're not for the right women's rights.
You need to listen to women's voices on abortion. Okay, well, that woman said she's not okay with it. Not her. She's not real. That is a figment of your imagination.
I mean,
she probably has a penis.
Yeah, and to call yourself pro-choice, and then to say, "Oh, well, you chose but poorly."
Right.
You get one or the other. I mean, fundamentally, I'm pro-choice. I'm just not pro-abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when Clinton said that, and I'm like, you know what? That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I was in a situation once a long time ago where a girlfriend of mine, literally the condom broke, right? And so for the next week or two or something, we waited because we immediately afterwards, the next morning, went into Planned Parenthood and got the morning after pill because, we were just had only been dating for like maybe a month or two or something at that point. And I felt really cool about the fact that I was with somebody and they were on the same page as me. And it was stressful, but the problem was the pill throws off or can throw off a woman's cycle. So she was like, I guess at the time, only within a few days of usually having her period. And then her period time came and went with nothing happening. And so we're both sitting there in fear for a week, not knowing what the hell's going on. Because she wasn't sure, and I wasn't sure, obviously. And I'm sitting there going like, if the pill didn't work and she decides to keep the baby, I have no choice.
Nope.
I have no option but to go along with it. And that notion in my head didn't have so much to do about abortion, but just the fact of imagine not having a choice in a situation where you're not ready for that kind of thing. And, you can, and obviously the argument is over, when does life begin and everything else. I'm of the opinion that, if a woman is in a situation or feels that she's not ready to be a mother and it's caught early enough, et cetera, as far as like the timing of it, that is a philosophical question that I am not built to answer or comment too much on. But ultimately, America is about having the freedom to make choices for yourself. And I know, when does life begin? I'm not going to try to go there. But either way, I don't look at abortion as something to be proud of, like a badge of honor, like they seem to be promoting it these days. I don't look at it as a first option for people or in the back of their minds, oh, if this happens, I'll just get an abortion. You should be thinking about preventative first, taking all the steps necessary to avoid it in the first place. And if something does go wrong, like me and my girlfriend did at the time, taking care of it immediately so you don't have any problems. But yeah, I'm pro-choice in that sense. I just don't think that abortion is something to be glorified. I think it's a sad option that some people end up taking. and I don't like the idea. I've got friends of friends who have like done these. I'm proud of my abortion or something. Like, what? I just that part I don't get. So,
Um, I'm pro-life. In a perfect world, I would think there'd be no need for abortion.
mm-hmm.
But if they limited it to the first trimester, except for health of mother, because at that time the other two, rape and incest, those should already have been taken care of. I'd be like, okay, I don't like it, but I can live with that. But we actually saw just this last winter, people pushing for, call it what it is, fucking infanticide. I mean, that one lady in Virginia, yeah, you could have an abortion literally up to the time the baby is about to crown for mental health of the mother.
Yeah, that
physical health, mental.
Yeah. Like I say, I can't say in the very, very early stages where the line exactly is, but that was nuts.
And so, yeah, but the conversation itself, look, guys, there's extremism on either side, yelling at each other. Doesn't help. Doesn't help.
No, it's not going to solve anything.
Let's see. The other one. Oh, I don't want to talk about Cortez. She's an idiot.
All right. Well, I did want to try to squeeze.
That's like I said, I got up late. I'm sorry.
That's fine. No, I wanted to try to squeeze in a Mad Lib before we get to chat time anyway.
Well, after that, I feel we need one because God, that conversation is getting fucking pissing me off. It's time to just let it go.
Okay, so I'm going to try an experiment. Okay, I'm going to try an experiment. I'm going to try to get chat involved in this.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so chat, I'm going to list off the last 3 entries of the Mad Lib. Now, when you put your suggestions in there, you need to put what it is followed by your suggestion. For example, if I said verb number 2, you need to put in your chat message verb number 2, and the word that you want to put in there. Okay, and I will choose at random whatever the suggestions. So I'm going to read off the last 3 options, literally for what they read on here.
Excuse me.
I'll repeat them so you know. Okay, so here they are. Part of the body, plural noun number 1, plural noun number 2. Okay, so if you want to have a chance at having your word included into the Mad Lib, I need you to put part of the body and your suggestion, plural noun number 1 and your suggestion, plural noun number 2 and your suggestion. When I say number 1, number 2, I mean the pound sign, just to make it clear, shorten it. And don't put all 3 onto one suggestion. Just put them individually. So I'll just scroll through and pick one, and then we'll move on. Okay? Part of the body, plural noun number 1, plural noun number 2. I will check the chat after I get to that point in the list. So we're going to start. Monkey, I need an adjective.
Crunchy.
Satsu, I need an adjective.
Pale.
Okay. Monkey, I need another adjective.
Oh, wow.
There's several of them here.
Stoic.
Stoic. Satsu, I need another adjective.
Delicious.
Okay. Monkey, I need female person you know.
Oh, nuts.
Okay. I'll put stargaze in there just to make it clear. Satsu, I need a male person that you know.
Sinatra.
Okay. Monkey, I need a noun.
Um,
Lots of nouns coming, guys. Lots of nouns. So just keep
cool.
nouns.
Vulva.
Satsu, I need a noun.
Potato peeler.
Potato peeler. Okay.
Yeah.
Monkey, I need a noun.
You know, you told us this was coming, and I should have
Yep.
been prepared.
There's several.
Shot put.
Shot put. Okay. Satsu, I need a noun.
Drill bit.
Drill bit. Monkey, I need a noun.
What's it called? A speculum?
Jesus. Satsu, I need a noun.
Oh shit, my brain just broke. Turkey baster.
Monkey, I need a number.
422.
Satsu, I need a number.
17.
And now we move on to the chat suggestions. Okay, so I'm
got a bunch
scrolling
of
up. Yeah, I know. I'm scrolling up to the top, and we'll go with Quinn the Cultist armpit for part of the body. Next for plural noun number 1. Who do I spot? Delafruit 0 bacon bits. All right. And finally, plural noun number 2. Ebony Williams says car fresheners.
Oh, good one.
All right. Thank you guys for your suggestions. Obviously, I couldn't use everybody's, but there you go. And this one's called Happy Birthday. Friends, this is a surprise party for nuts. We are here to celebrate her vulva.
Okay.
All of her most crunchy friends are here, including me, her devoted and faithful potato peeler. I must say that she doesn't look a day over 422.
Sorry, nuts.
Naturally, we have some pale presents for her. Sinatra brought her a beautiful copper shot put that she can wear on her lovely armpit. And our hostess got her a dozen bacon bits that she can hang in her drill bit. And we had a bakery send up a huge stoic speculum with 17 candles on it.
Jesus.
We all want to wish her a very delicious birthday and many happy car fresheners. Now, let's all sing together, Happy Turkey Baster to you.
Some of those parts went together way too well.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We're here to celebrate her vulva.
By putting a giant speculum with candles on it.
So I'm going to...
Stargazer says, thank you, Sinatra.
I'm going to post that to Twitter for everyone to enjoy.
That was beautiful.
Thank you guys for participating. I might try that again the next time as well. Maybe we'll make that a regular part of it if I can find ones that have enough words in there to give enough time for people to.
And happy turkey baster when we're celebrating her vulva.
Yes, exactly.
Oof.
Yes, oof.
That says she loved
it. Let's see. Where did that go? There it is.
I did make her 422, though. I feel bad about that.
Today's special Mad Lib. All right. So that's out for you guys to enjoy. And speaking of Sinatra, he tweeted me something that I guess some people took as serious. I saw it and thought of it immediately as satire, but some people think it's a Poe. Someone, I believe, cooked up a fake Guardian headline that says, "Why Grumpy Cat was a symbol of the alt-right, and I'm glad she's dead." Now, as far as I can tell, this is a joke. A lot of people can't tell the difference, and I don't blame them necessarily because it's the Guardian.
Right.
So I don't know if Jarvis DuPont is an actual person or actual author or something. I don't know if that headline is real. If it actually is, by all means, send us a link. I think it's a put on.
I tried finding the article and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I think it's a put on. But anyway, Sinatra sent this photo meme to me, and it has that headline, and underneath it says, "I'm going to give you 30 seconds to delete this before I make the Holocaust look like a fucking joke."
That part made me laugh.
Yeah, that's funny. And then I told Sinatra, I said, "I think that's satire," and he says, "You can't even tell anymore." It's like, well, that is also true.
You're not wrong.
Well, guys, let's move on to the wonderful world of chat time.
For
If
the
you
record,
guys-
anytime I see something like that, I immediately try finding the actual headline.
Yeah. I've learned through hard experience not to take anything at its word unless I see it in print, so to speak. So photo memes and everything else. Yeah. But anyway, guys, chat time. If you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, birthday wishes for Nuts' vulva, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. Scroll up a bit. RJ Bandsman says, Scribe Light, who would you cosplay as? Duke Nukem? And why is my phone beeping at me now? That's not a good sign. I will deal with that after the show. Okay, Duke Nukem. No, I don't have the build for Duke Nukem in any way, shape, or form. I could not pull off a reasonable Duke Nukem. Are there things that you guys would cosplay as?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Yeah, me neither. I can't think of a lot of things I could pull off.
I'm not a cosplayer kind of guy, and I'm not judging anybody who is.
Well, given the fact that both of you guys are cartoons, you could just cosplay as yourselves, sort of.
I would cosplay as the monkey.
Yeah, get a monkey suit.
Oh yeah, dude, I would probably do that. Like, try to find, if I ever go to a con or something, I'm gonna like wear my avatar's
red and
outfit.
black hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mata Winter, Lords of the Night. Have you ever been abducted by time and space traveling mariachi singers?
Only twice, but
Who
I can't
told
talk
you?
about it.
Yeah, and I can't say that I have. So Monkey and Sets are having adventures without me.
That's a horrible memory. Thank you for bringing it up.
Bodacious T says, why are we actively undermining the nation of Idril? I've never heard of Idril. Is that a Game of Thrones reference?
That's Idris Alba's island that he made.
Oh,
Yeah.
Idril. That's a good idea.
That'd be awesome.
Devil Fruitsio Scribelight, what do you guys think about North Carolina University measuring conservative women as 2/5 of a person? MSS News article.
That's
Is that an abortion reference? I don't know. I don't know what that means. If that's true, I don't think they can. Gorbag Goes Camping. Scribelight, favorite vampire movie? Oh boy. Well, my sentimental favorite is Near Dark. Except, and I've said this a zillion times, except for the ending. The happy ending they put on that thing is fucking bullshit. Second to that, just for novelty's sake, is called The Addiction. It's black and white with Lily Taylor and Christopher Walken as an elder vampire. He's in the movie for maybe like 5 minutes, but he is so fucking creepy. It's great. I think you can find The Addiction for free, like on YouTube or something. I think it might have been posted there. So it's very art house. It's not an action movie. It's kind of pretentious in places, but I like it for it being different, and I definitely like the Christopher Walken part. Outside of those, there's a whole bunch of like sort of other sentimental favorites that I have in my collection. I got a lot of vampire movies in my collection, like Habit. If you can find Habit, that's a really, really obscure one. God, Interview with a Vampire. I still like that one, even though it's a little bit overblown at this point. There's a lot of parts of it I like, and I think Tom Cruise did actually a pretty good job. I read the books when I was a teenager, and then I saw the movie. And as far as a Lestat, he's way better than Stuart Townsend was in Queen of the Damned. I'll tell you what. But let's see. Thank you, Dark Shade. White Tax. Do you guys have favorite vampire movies?
Not. I mean, I guess my favorite one would probably be Underworld, and I know it's very cliche at this point.
Good Lord.
But I like it because Kate Beckinsale is
Yeah.
hot, and she's barely. She's wearing skin tight black leather. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, probably the original Underworld I enjoyed. Like stands out the most to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate Underworld. It's so. I mean, setting aside the fact that it is in so many ways kind of a really rough. I know it's not technically a ripoff, but when you played Vampire the Masquerade for so long,
Yeah.
that movie definitely feels like a ripoff, and it was so. It might as well have just been like superheroes at night for a lot of it. And I mean, I appreciated how they sort of wove in the extra story and background of the sequels and stuff. I mean, it's sort of like Saw, you know, it's even though the movies don't really wow me that much, I appreciate the creativity that went into like making them all connect together. Yeah, the only thing about Underworld that I always think of first is the fact that Kate Beckinsale was married to the guy who played the werewolf leader.
Mm-hmm.
But then she cheated on him with the director of that movie as they were making that movie.
Yeah.
And then married the director of the movie.
And she got to make more movies, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she's like Resident Evil, where she's married to the same director, same deal. Let's see. Pirates Creed, Scribe. Which of the clans from the Vampire the Masquerade bloodlines would you like to be? From the video game? Oh, geez. From the video game, probably the Tremere. Of the selectable clans, just because they had the more interesting and cool side story going on there with Maximilian Strauss and the whole politics and things going on there. In Vampire the Masquerade in general, I really like the Giovanni. I've always been a big Giovanni fan, and also a little bit La Sombra. I like the La Sombra a bit. Do you have? I know you played it quite a bit, Monkey. Do you have a clan you have a favorite of in there?
Who was Jack? It's been a long time since I've played.
Jack is a Bruja.
Then that would be it.
Bruja, okay.
Because they're the cool kids, man.
They can be. They can also be obnoxious depending on who's playing them and how. But that's my LARP side talking. Quinn the Cultist, how do you like your hamburgers cooked? Medium or medium well, depending.
Same here.
Well done.
Yeah, Monkey likes some charcoal.
Well, I like a char on it, but I mean, if you're going to get E. coli, it's going to be from eating hamburger that's not cooked all the way. Just throwing that out there. So I eat my steaks like I just need the outside cooked. But when it comes to a burger, I want it charred and I want it cooked all the way through.
Mata Winter says, which is more arousing to you, the back of the knee or the tip of the ear? Do you mean on us or on our partner? Like looking at the back of a girl's knee doesn't do much for me, or messing with the tip of their ear, maybe biting. But for me, back of the knee, I don't think so. But nibbling on my ear will have an effect. That's true.
I get the back of the knee thing.
Yeah.
It's not a big draw for me, but I can definitely see it.
Okay.
No. Ask Squishy about the back of the knee thing and her injuries, and she'll tell you that is not something I'm a fan of.
Gorbag goes Cammy Scribe Live. What do you think of The Hunger and Life Force? I think the makeup on David Bowie and The Hunger does not hold up over time. I thought The Hunger was a bit too. I understand everybody thinks, oh, it's a great vampire movie. It's like, yeah, it's a vampire movie. I don't know. Something about that movie always just felt kind of like pompous to me. I don't know how else to put it. Maybe it's Susan Sarandon or Catherine Deneuve. Life Force. The only thing about Life Force, besides the fact that, I mean, the whole movie is fun to watch with a group of people, just because it's so goofy and Patrick Stewart just going completely nuts at that one point. Space vampires and all that. But I love Life Force for the completely naked lady in the beginning of the movie who's beautiful. I mean, she's just a beautiful woman. Setting aside the whole, like, you know, looking at a naked woman thing, she's actually just a gorgeous example of womanhood. So that part I always like.
Well, for a goofy vampire movie, I still love Once Bitten.
Yeah, that's true.
Jim Carrey, it's one of the few movies I do like him comedy-wise in. That was fun.
Well, I mean, Life Force is meant to be a horror movie, a sci-fi horror movie, but the problem is that it's so bizarre. And the Steve Railsback in there is just so intense. Yeah, like I say, it's a hard movie to take seriously nowadays. But the special effects and everything were really, they're still kind of impressive to a certain degree. Let's see. Sorry, guys, my chat jumped. If I missed your question, repost it. Devil Fruit Zero says, "Are waffles pancakes with abs?"
I kind of like that.
Sure. Why not?
They are now.
Reverse abs, I guess.
Random American says, "For 7 days to die, have you checked if you have enough ammo for your weapons? Also, have you tried killing zombies that are attacking you?"
So this was that inside joke you didn't get before, Scribe, because you were talking about that lady who was being like Captain Obvious and saying shit that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Random loves when we're playing 7 Days to Die to just say stupid shit that I'm either already doing, have already done, or am actively doing at the moment. And then I'll go over and read it, and I'm like, dude, like I'm literally doing that right now. So now, because I pointed it out, he's gone off the deep end, and now it's just everything. So if I'm fighting a zombie, he'll be like, dude, you should kill that zombie that you are actively fighting right now. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Harvest Marva says, "Have any of you seen or heard of the movie Brightburn?" Yes, I have. It looks kind of interesting. It's like, okay, what if Superman was evil? The thing is, though, I have a sneaky theory. I could be wrong. So there's a movie Brightburn that is essentially, what if Superman came down to the earth but was actually a villain, a psychopathic villain, and not a hero. But there's also this movie that I think is either coming out or has already come out. It's called The Prodigy. I believe it's called The Prodigy, where it's a little kid that's born with super brain.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
So I'm wondering, and this is the theory. I don't know. I can't off the top of my head. I don't know if different companies produce these films or what. But wouldn't it be interesting if they were setting up a stealth, dark superhero crossover deal where you've got the Psycho Superman versus the Brainiac, and there's some kind of crossover team up or thing, sort of like Unbreakable, but setting up an old mini shared universe with like kid villains and kid heroes and things like that, but they're like rated R.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of, I thought when I saw the preview for Brightburn, and like 3 days later I saw the preview for I think it was called The Prodigy or the Gifted or something like that. I was just like, no, that'd be too cool. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I did see the preview. It looks interesting. It's a little, a little ham-fisted, the whole Superman thing, but I might watch it.
Did you get horror movie vibes from that trailer? Because I was getting horror movie vibes
from Brightburn.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Brightburn for sure. Yeah, no, it's a horror movie. That kid with his, it's a horror movie. It's like The Conjuring or something. It's one of those things, except it's a super villain deal.
I got that vibe from the other one you got, The Prodigy.
Prodigy. Oh yeah,
The Prodigy too.
Oh yeah, these are like, I think The Prodigy's R-rated or it might be PG-13. But anyway, they got these semi-adult themed movies, or more so with Brightburn, but the main characters are kids. So yeah. Which isn't, untoward, Exorcist, etc. But let's see. Quinn the Cultist, do you like Ranting Monkey? Do you like the Cable Man movie? The Cable Guy with the
Cable Guy? Not really.
Yeah,
that's Jim Carrey, over the top Jim Carrey.
I've seen some essays, like some YouTube video essays about the nuances of the Cable Guy and how it's smarter than it looks. And I've watched a couple of those guys. I've seen the Cable Guy, I saw it years ago, and I watched a couple of those. I was like, I guess I could see how you'd get that, but it just didn't work.
Nuances of the Cable Guy?
Yeah, no, well, they look into it like as a character study. They analyze it. They don't, they're taking it a bit more seriously than they should, but they also, there was one guy, I forget who it was, who analyzed it and said, it's a brilliant dark comedy, and here's why. And then he says, something to the effect of, some of that is lost because Jim Carrey is who he is as a star at the time, whereas if you could remove that sort of pedigree from it and just look at it as this story, it's kind of a very smart psychological thriller kind of thing. Like, oh.
Maybe not Jim Carrey at the time. How about just remove Jim Carrey?
Well, that's it too. Let's see. Okay, we done with that one. Suicide Grunts of America Central. Scribe, like, favorite Alien movie. You talking about like the Alien franchise or just a movie about aliens? Because if it's the Alien franchise, it's probably the first one. I mean, Aliens, the sequel, was really, really cool and was one of my favorite movies growing up. But as far as like the entire franchise, the first one kind of has everything you want. But as far as like movies about aliens, I don't know. Hard to say. But Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There you go. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original, and the '79 version was all right.
What about Star Wars?
Star Wars isn't about aliens. That's
Yes, it is.
That's space opera.
But with aliens all over the
Well,
place.
it has aliens, but it's not about aliens.
I feel like it is.
I don't. I don't feel it is about aliens. It has aliens in it, but the driving plot point is not aliens, unlike the movie Alien or Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I feel like it is.
You're wrong.
Wait, aren't aliens just things that aren't on Earth?
Yep.
Shush.
It's literally about a galaxy far, far away.
Shush. Let's see. Nothing for here. Have any of you had an unusual dream that you carry with you in life or that changed your perspective on life?
I only have one dream that I remember.
Yeah.
And it was a dream about Satan. I don't know that it was Satan, but I know it was Satan.
Okay.
I walked down this spiral staircase, this metal wrought iron spiral staircase, into a room that is all white, and it's got all these white hanging cloths all through it, and there's a dark staircase leading down, and I know if I go down there, that's the bad place. That's where literally Satan is. And I woke up in a fucking panic because of that dream. And I had this dream when I was like 12. And I don't know. That is always I think because of that I always know there's a line you gotta watch because you don't want to go down that staircase. I don't know if that makes sense for you guys, but it did for me.
See, that story made me want to say what my favorite movie about the devil is, but if I do that, it actually spoils the movie if you've never seen it, so I don't want to name it. But my favorite Satan portrayal is probably Viggo Mortensen in The Prophecy, and he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes. It's another sort of, which is weird because The Prophecy stars Christopher Walken, and sort of like Christopher Walken being in The Addiction for 5 minutes as a vampire is one of the best parts of the movie. Viggo Mortensen as Satan for 5 minutes in that movie is one of the best parts of that movie. So, anyway, what about you, Satsu?
The only thing that comes close that I can think of right now is there was a time where I was going through some shit in my life to where I had a lot of things riding on what I was doing at the time. I just had a lot of shit going on in my life, and I was at that panicky point where I'm just like, the stakes are high, like shit goes wrong, like everything is just going to collapse around me, and I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I actually had a dream around that time where things were going really well, and like a whole bunch of shit was going on for me, and it was really nice, and the dream was so kind of long and vivid that I was fully convinced, like when I woke up and I found out that it wasn't real and none of that shit exists and I didn't accomplish any of those things, it actually impacted me emotionally so much that it felt like that loss. You know what I mean? Like that, holy shit, I just had everything just kind of collapsed around me like that Jarrett moment. And it actually helped me cope with the anxiety that I had about that because I kind of indirectly experienced it, and after I came down I was like, okay, all right. For some reason that grounded me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a dream that's like changed my life or anything, but the one that sticks out or I remember the most vividly
is I was sitting and watching TV. I must have been like 13 or 14 or something. I was sitting and watching TV, and I was watching a documentary. I think it was on, I don't know, the History Channel or CNN or something. It was about the Munich terrorist attack at the Munich Olympics.
Mm.
And I dozed off as I'm watching this. And it was one of those instances where what I was watching / listening to as I was sleeping sort of seeped into my brain.
Oh, yeah.
And I dreamt in one of those sort of things where you feel like you're really there. It was a really vivid dream, probably because the TV was on. I dreamt that I was one of the guys killing people. And I woke up for a moment, that moment in between sleeping and wakefulness, where I honestly thought I had murdered people. And my conscious conscience came into play then. And I felt the absolute most horrible, scared, and disgusted with myself all at once than I ever had in my entire life to that point, because I honestly thought I'd killed somebody. It took a minute or three for me to realize what was going on, but in that moment, I was in the worst place virtually ever. And it's one of those things where, and also though, one of the greatest reliefs when I realized that was all not real.
Right. No shit. I can see that.
Thank you, Point Curation, popping in to say happy birthday. Thank you, Point. Appreciate it. And thank you also extended to being on Familiar with the Matter a couple episodes back. And thanks to everybody who's been on those shows so far. It's been really good. Sorry, I missed a whole bunch of questions. Going to go back. We got a couple minutes here. Mata Winter, Lords of the Night, turkey bacon or turkey sausage?
Probably turkey sausage.
Yeah, sausage. I like bacon if I get bacon.
Yeah. Turkey
You can
sausage.
flavor it.
Let's see. Gorebag says The Prophecy is a great flick. I think so too. Gulf City says End of Days was a good devil movie. No, it wasn't. No, seriously, End of Days.
No, you're wrong.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is fucking awful. Sorry, Gulf City, Johnny Blaze. End of Days was not a good devil movie. I mean, okay. The guy who played the devil in that, I always like him. I suddenly forget his name. Gabriel Byrne. Gabriel Byrne, I love him as an actor. He was fun to watch in that movie, but that was not a good movie about the devil. Just saying. What else? Black metal says Gore. I don't know what that means. Like the music type. Hayden White says, one of the Israeli students who was killed in Munich looks so much like my dad, it makes me sick. I couldn't rewatch the documentary. Are you talking about like One Day in September? Because I mean, I've seen a couple of documentaries about Munich, but One Day in September is one of the best documentaries on the Munich attack. It's narrated by Michael Douglas. It's got a really great soundtrack, and it uses the archival footage perfectly to tell the story. And it's great. I mean, it's a great documentary. It's tough to watch, but it's great.
I hate to sound like an idiot. What happened in Munich? Oh, this was the bombing at the Olympic thing, right?
Yeah, this was when the Libyan terrorists kidnapped the Israeli team, and held them hostage and eventually murdered them all, and then got away with it. I mean, they were sent back to their country and lived. And then, if you watch the movie Munich by Steven Spielberg, you see a hyper-fictionalized telling of what Israel did after the Munich attack to get revenge.
Yeah, it's not good to fuck with Israel.
Yeah, man. If you get the Mossad on your ass, you're in deep shit. But yeah, the Mossad killed most of the terrorists. At least one guy got away. That one guy is in the One Day in September documentary because they interviewed everybody. Everybody's still alive practically who was around that thing. The German officials, people from Israel, the family members. Yeah, One Day in September is an excellent documentary. It's probably my favorite documentary, at least in my mind right now, next to The Smartest Guys in the Room, the documentary about Enron. Because I've watched that movie way too many times. Let's see. Harvest Marva says, have you guys talked about the new Equal Rights Act passed by House, and did any movie ever do a sequel that was by far better than the original? Empire Strikes Back, to the second question. To the first question, I think I saw somebody mention that equal rights deal, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I saw we didn't talk about it, but yeah, I saw the House equal rights thing. It's not going anywhere. Yeah. The Godfather 2 is also much better than the original, and the original was great.
Yeah. Satsu?
What happened? I'm sorry. Squishy was distracting me.
Is there a movie sequel that's better than the original?
Kung Fu Panda.
Monkey and I go for the classics, and Satsu goes for a cartoon. All right. Let's see. Cody Fry says, I had a dream where I was in total darkness. There was a visceral sensation of being utterly isolated from the rest of existence. I have never been more scared or felt more alone before or since. Kind of reminds me of the first time I tried to, I was like 6. I tried, for whatever reason, to contemplate death. I tried to contemplate the absence of consciousness, complete oblivion. It broke me there, and I ran and cried to my mother. Because if you stop, like the closest, as far as we know, and sorry, religious people, I don't know what to tell you, but as far as we know, the closest you will ever get to understanding what death is like is those times where you fall asleep and you don't realize it, and you think back to the moment where everything disappeared. That's it. That's as close as we think you could conceivably get living, because otherwise you try to contemplate, you can't, because it's the syntax area. You can't contemplate the absence of existing, so anyway, not to bring everything down, but it's my 40th birthday. I'm gonna think about those things a little bit.
Man,
sorry. Dangerous Spaces, Captain America Winter Soldier. That is true. Winter Soldier, I mean, I like the first Captain America movie. Winter Soldier is definitely a better movie. It's one of the best Marvel movies overall too. Steven Sperling says Bride of Frankenstein is even better than Frankenstein, but both movies are terrific. That's true too. Yeah, Bride of Frankenstein was great. And Sinatra agreed with you, Monkey, The Godfather 2.
Godfather 2 is amazing.
Mr. Lau says Israel didn't apologize until 1996 for killing them. I don't know that I would have apologized. I can see why they probably, diplomatically have to or feel compelled to. But yeah, I mean, extrajudicial assassin. Sorry?
Said I wouldn't have apologized.
Yeah, it's just the thing about international extrajudicial assassination. It's not a good look overall diplomatically.
I get that, but yeah, fuck them.
Let's see.
Kill you back. I'm okay with that.
Moonchuck says, just wanted to say happy birthday and thank you for the years of entertainment. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for thanks for watching. Hayden White says, Scribe, did you see the documentary The Nightmare about sleep paralysis? No. I haven't seen that one. Dangerous Spaces. Lords of the Night, what is the best costume you wore to a costume party? I went to an 80s party as a Rubik's Cube, basically wore a giant box with the squares painted on. Best costume. Batman? Satsu?
What was that? I'm sorry. Squishy was telling me something.
Your favorite costume you wore to a costume party?
I've never gone to a costume party.
When I was doing my LARPing, I wore a costume every week. And then when we had like special events in the game, I wore several different costumes. My favorite one. God, I'm trying to think. Oh, I went as a gravedigger once, like an actual top hat and a waistcoat and all that stuff. Old fashioned gravedigger. That was a really good costume. I like that one.
Only certain people will get this reference, but the only time I ever did either, I guess the closest thing you can call to cosplay is I was a Organization 13 Jedi, and I'll let that marinate for anybody who knows what that means.
Let's see. And one more comment because we're just about at the top of the hour. Suicide Grunt, Scribe, did you ever hear about the Thanos Origins movie that was never made and instead they released Captain Marvel? No, I didn't hear about that. I don't think that would have been a good idea. Probably why they didn't do it.
Yeah. I think that's probably the right decision.
Yeah, and Captain Marvel I obviously was only the lesser of two bad ideas.
Did well at the theater, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, I know. Box office did great, but nearly every review I heard of it was just, which just tells you how much the Marvel brand by itself can carry a film, even if the film itself isn't a Winter Soldier, you know?
Oh, sure.
So, anyway, and Steven Sperling says, Muppets Take Manhattan is better than the previous two Muppet movies. You're probably right.
Probably not wrong on that.
All right, guys, top of the hour, end of the show. Guys, you know, coming on here on my, birthday celebration, we'll call it, just reminds me how much I appreciate all of you guys for, following us this whole time and being a part of the show every night. Your support, your encouragement, your generosity, whole 9 yards. I was just thinking to myself today, I look at the videos, like how many people watch my videos, and it's always around like 700 views or thereabouts. And I think to myself, when I first started doing this, I never thought I'd get more than maybe like 10 people giving a shit. The fact that I've got like 3 times the number of kids that were in my high school when I was going there, regularly watching my stuff, still boggles my mind. I don't need 10 million subscribers to feel like I've lucked out with people paying attention, whether you like my stuff or not. Yeah. But anyway, all that being said, guys, again, thank you for joining us tonight as you always do. Happy
birthday.
Oh, thank you, Monkey. After this, you guys are 7 days to dying, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes. So over on 2 Cents Plus, guys, go watch Monkey and Satsu kill zombies in my name for my birthday. Every dead zombie is a gift, is a sacrifice to my day of birth. Remember also that tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. And I think that's. It's another old person moment there. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world. Everyone who donated, everyone, thank you so much. I'm going to spoil myself rotten. Dr. Pepper and Goldfish, as always. And maybe, saving up for my ticket to Moonbase whenever they build the thing. And with that, guys, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
You.
Everyone, your lives make me happy. Birthday. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Happy birthday, Scribe.
That was gay.
No, it wasn't. It totally wasn't. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to use the book today. Today's secret word is grateful.
That's even more gay.
Shut up.